Welcome to the Radical Audacity Podcast. I'm Tiffany Kane, your host. On this podcast, you are going to meet people that walk their own path, live life on their own terms, let go of other people's rules and expectations and the shoulds in life, and instead live life in their own truth, integrity, and authenticity. This podcast will give you the inspiration you need to live your own radically audacious life. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Radical Audacity. This is a solo episode where I come to you and talk to you about some things that have been on my mind that I think will make a difference in your life. I was on a hot seat coaching call with one of my mentors, Cathy Heller. And it was such an amazing experience. I'm one of those people that firmly believes we all need coaches and guides and helps and supports along our way. And so, yes, I am a coach. And yes, I have coaches. And I make a goal every single year of signing up with a new coach so I can get different aspects, different viewpoints, different ideas. But I'm a lifelong avid learner, so I love working with different coaches. So I was on a hot seat coaching call with the amazing Cathy Heller, and she talked about this concept of surviving versus thriving. And we were talking about money. And I had mentioned, Cathy, I quit my full-time job and I really am thinking about money, and I'm thinking about, okay, I need to make sure I have enough money to pay my basic necessities, my rent and car payments and taking care of the kids' activities and health insurance, that kind of stuff. And she stopped me right there and she said, Tiffany, that is survival mentality. Do you want to just survive or do you want to thrive? Oh my goodness, you guys, that question was on fire. Just, wow. Do I want to just survive or do I want to thrive? So today I wanted to talk to you guys about surviving versus thriving because this was just a mind-blowing concept for me. And I always love when mind-blowing concepts are just tiny little paradigm shifts, right? Like it doesn't take a lot to make the leap from surviving versus thriving and understanding the difference. So let's use some real life examples. What is an example of surviving mindset? I will use myself as an example. So here I am. I left my teaching job that had retirement and healthcare and 10 paychecks a year, which were never quite enough, but I knew exactly what they were. And, I had worked in that job for a long time. I had my master's degree. I had a lot of extra credits and credentials. I was all the way over on the pay scale. So I was actually making six figures. And so, I'm like, I need to replace my six-figure income. And I need to make sure I can pay all of my bills. And I was actually thinking, well, what should I cut out of my current bills so that I can make sure that the money I'm bringing in from my new coaching business, our podcasting business and my personal coaching business, I can make sure that I can cover all the bills. That's survival thinking. Anytime you have this lack, and I didn't realize it was lack mindset. I was like, I'm just being responsible. There's probably some things I need to cut out. Do I cut out my manicures? Do I cut out getting my favorite avocado toast, which, is kind of the joke that avocado toast stops you from buying a house. But, what do I cut out? And that is a lack mentality. Anytime we sit there and think, I need to cut something out, we are in survival mode. We are saying, I only need this much to survive, and that's all I'm going to call in. She likened it to going to one of those amusement parks where the whale is in a aquarium just big enough for the whale, right? We've all been to those parks. Personally, they break my heart. So you have this big giant whale that is used to migrating hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles in the ocean, right? Like that's over the course of that species, evolution in history, migration, using, like that whale uses the whole ocean almost, right? And now this whale is in a tiny little tank performing for people, surviving. Are you a whale in a tiny little tank? Do you have enough water to survive? Or are you a whale in the ocean? Are you thriving? So what would thriving look like? I'll come back to me. I'll come back to my experience and the mindset shift I have had to make. Mindset shift, let's say that 10 times really fast. So the mindset shift I have had to make is, all right, I am not going to look at my budget and say, what do I need to cut out? I am going to look at my skills and my resources and say, what can I bring in? How do I bring in the abundance to cover my basic daily needs and more? And I love that and more part because I take great joy in giving back, right? And so if I can bring in enough to cover my needs and more, then I can give to others. I have a friend that has a nonprofit. I'm helping her to raise money for her nonprofit. Oh my gosh, how exciting would it be if I brought in enough money to be able to completely fund her dream of having a day of hot showers and medical care for the homeless population in her area. She only needs $4,000. How beautiful would it be if I brought in that abundance, that and more, to where I could say, here's your $4,000. I'm so happy to help you because I brought in so much abundance that I'm able to cover my needs and more. That is thriving. If I could do that, if I could just hand her $4,000 and then be there on that day, watching those people get their warm showers, handing them their clean towels, handing them their clean clothes, passing out a warm meal to them, do you know how that would fill my bucket? I would be thriving, not surviving. Not looking at what I can cut out of my life, but I'm now looking at what more can I put into my life that fills my joy bucket. And that is the difference between surviving and thriving. And so I would love to ask you, where are you at in your journey? Are you looking at the world as what can I do to survive the situation I am in right now? Whether it's, I would very much love to quit my job and work for myself, or it's, I'm in a marriage that's no longer serving me and I would really like to get out of this marriage and move on in my own direction. Or it's, I have these dreams that I want to pursue and I'd like to take steps towards doing that. Are you looking at those things from a surviving mindset perspective? Or are you looking at those things from the thriving? Are you looking at those from what do I need to cut out of my life to make these happen? Or are you looking at as what can I call into my life? What resources do I have to bring in the abundance to make this happen? It's a small mindset shift, but it's such an important mindset shift. And it's a shift that I know I personally sit with and think about and ponder and work on every single day. it's just such a beautiful way to frame the way we look at what we're doing. So here's the proposal I have for you. If you also would like to shift your mindset from surviving to thriving, I'd love to be on that journey with you. I really, really would. It would bring me so much joy to be on that journey with you. I am starting a mastermind. It would be a 6-month mastermind. It is a 6-month mastermind where we are working on these types of mindset shifts together. We're on this journey together. We are growing together, and we are moving into this super expansive space together. There will be one-on-one coaching. There will be small group coaching. There's going to be a summit. There's going to be the opportunity to come to a retreat, all kinds of amazing things. So if this sounds like something that appeals to you, where you say, I would love to work on this mindset shift. I would love to go from surviving my life to thriving in my life. If that's what you want, then click on the link in my show notes that says Mastermind Application. You'll fill out an application and get put on the wait list. And then I'll be setting up a time to have a call with you so that we can have a little one-on-one chat and make sure this is the right fit for you. I'm only accepting a few people in. There's going to be limited seats. I want to keep it under 10 people, and I want to make sure we're all a really good fit for each other. So if you think this program is right for you and you would love to be in a mastermind with me and some amazing other women who want to shift their mindset, move from that striving to thriving, move through fear, truly, truly take life by the horns and live a joyous, beautiful, expansive life, then click on that link in the show notes. And also, if you enjoyed what you heard today, please share this episode with a friend. You sharing helps other people to find the podcast, and the more people that find the podcast, the more this message of expansiveness and abundance and thriving gets out into the world. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day.